Hi, my name is Dr. Leslie Singh. I'm a specialist physician in the field of sports and exercise medicine and in occupational medicine. Today, I'm talking to you from the VVD deck in the little studio that I've established here. What I'm going to do today is to talk to you about vaccination, particular vaccination about COVID-19 COVID virus. There seems to be quite a lot of misunderstanding about what vaccination means, what it's for. People are a little bit skeptical about taking it. I'm just here to give you some information so that you can make an informed decision, as we will soon have to accept that vaccination is going to come to this country, and we have to make a decision whether we take it or not, because it's important for us to be able to have that right autonomy, but we have to decide on the basis of good facts. To talk about vaccination, first of all, let me just explain to you what happens when germs enter your body. The germs will enter your body. When they get there, they start multiplying, and then they start destroying part of your body tissues. That is called a disease. Now, the body has to respond, and it responds by mobilizing what is called the immune system. So you have an immune system that comes in to try and attack the germs that are coming into your body. It does this using different types of cells. You've got a lot of fancy names like lymphocyte, macrophages, phagocyte, monocyte, but many different types of cells. The important thing is to understand that certain types of cells are always there scavenging around. These are the mainly called the phagocyte. Phagocyte means phage is to eat. They go around eating anything that is foreign. They eat the germs and kill it. And in addition to killing the germ as it comes in, they will recognize the germ to see that this is a particular type of germ, and that they will take that information and send it to other cells in the body called lymphocyte. And the lymphocyte will also come in and produce some of the lymphocytes, which are T lymphocytes, come in and also help in the killing of cells by just destroying them. They're called killer lymphocytes. Other lymphocytes are the B lymphocytes. These ones will produce what are called antibodies. These are little lasers that will tack on to the surface of the germ that allows other cells to recognize them and hit and kill them. So that's basically how the immune system works. Now, having killed the germ, then you obviously get better and you'll be fine. But the body is very smart. What it will do is that some of the cells, particularly the B cells, are going to be memory cells. They stay in the body hidden somewhere, and when that germ comes into contact with your body again, they will rapidly deploy and kill it. That's basically how the immune system works. Now, ideally, really, when you think about this, if a germ, if it would be good to have a system whereby something which is not a germ but can mimic the effect of a germ comes into the body, but it does not cause diseases. Okay, so the trick is basically to sensitize the body to have memory cells that without having exposure to the disease. Now, to do this, what has happened over the ages is what's called vaccination. Let me just tell you a little bit about the origin of vaccination. Many years ago, 200 years ago to be more exact, a gentleman called Edward Jenner in London, he was a surgeon. He noted that the girls that were milking cows who got cowpox did not suffer from smallpox. Then he postulated that cowpox will protect against smallpox. Now, this chap, in order to test his theory, he took some pus from a young lady who had cowpox and injected it into a little boy who was fit and healthy. I'm not sure about the ethics of that. And then, having done that, he went forth and then injected the boy with smallpox pus. And the boy indeed did not get smallpox. So his theory was proven, unethical as it was, but that was the birth of vaccinology, the study of vaccines. So now, the trick is basically to take a part of the germ, put it in the body, and the body responds to it, to the germ, and then produce the memory cells. Or you could just take a cell, the germ, kill it. When you've killed it, you then inject it, and the body responds to that. That's just a dead inactivated vaccine. You can also take, you can heat the vaccine such that it's very weak, weaken it quite substantially, so that when you inject with the people, it doesn't cause the disease, but the body can respond to it and produce memory cells. Okay, so traditionally, that's how vaccines were made. You either take part of a little bit of covering of the germ, or you kill the germ, or you weaken the germ and inject with the people. But that process is quite tedious, can take a very long period of time. Now, over the past, I'm sure you've heard about genetic viruses and vaccines over the past year because of this COVID-19 crisis. Some people believe this is a new phenomenon, but it's not. It's been going on for over 30 years. In fact, many years ago as a medical student, I was doing an immunological project, and I came across the convent DNA technology. That's when I heard about people investigating the possibility of using DNA to produce vaccines for anti-cancer and such things. But they've been around for quite some time. Some have been produced to use for cancer. It's just for Ebola, but they have not actually been licensed because people are not sure exactly how they got. However, when this CV-19 came, it became quite clear that we do not have time to be able to produce the vaccines the traditional way. This would take a very long period of time. It can take up to 5 years or even 10 years sometimes. But you see, with genetics, you can easily, if you know the type of protein is on the surface of the germ, you can easily synthesize a genetic material that encodes for that protein. This is very easy to protect. So what people have done is that they've looked at the spikes on the coronavirus. The spike, little spikes, so that's why it's called corona, because little spikes looks like a crown. So they took some of those and then synthesized genetic material for that and used that to produce a vaccine. Now, there are two types of vaccine of this nature. Some are DNA, virus, DNA is some genetic material. There are some are RNA material vaccines. There's another genetic material. I'm sure you've heard of the Moderna virus from the United States and the Pfizer virus. Those are RNA vaccines. RNA actually is mRNA, messenger RNA. I'll talk to you about how mRNA is made when we talk about DNA vaccines. Now, what happened here? Having synthesized this mRNA that encodes for the protein on the surface of the germ, you take it, then you inject it into a human being. That's the vaccine. Then what happened is that mRNA is going to be taken over by the macrophages. You remember the cells that I said they engulf everything and eat everything. And what will happen is that the mRNA, once it enters the host macrophages or immune cell, it is going to encode for the protein, and that protein will appear on the surface of macrophages. Because you do not have any part of the viral material, it doesn't cause diseases, but the body will respond and recognize to it as a foreign entity. And now that cell will be killed by the immune system. Once it's been killed, some of the cells are going to remain behind as memory cells. And next time CV-19 comes around, there's a rapid deployment of the immune system that comes and kill it very rapidly, and therefore you're protected. And certainly, you may have a little mild form of the condition, but we know that it protects people from hospitalization. Once you have this type of thing, you don't go to hospital at all because you're going to be very well. You don't die, that's for sure, which is the objective of all this exercise. So those are mRNA vaccines. They're 100% safe. Well, nothing is 100% safe in medicine, but they're extremely safe. They've been tested very nicely in the United States, and in fact, in a lot of countries in the world. So now, mRNA DNA vaccine, similar kind of thing. This one is the Sputnik vaccine that came from Russia. Once again, this has been in investigation for many decades, so it's not a new vaccine, and so you don't have to worry about it. It wasn't just rushed through. as other people say, liars start telling you, it's actually not a new vaccine. It's the new vaccine, but the technology has been there for quite a long time. The other one is the AstraZeneca. It's the same kind of technology as the Russian one. The Zeneca one, what they do here, they take the DNA that encodes for the protein on the surface of the cell. Then they take that and put it in another virus, which is inactivated, is not capable of dividing or causing diseases. So you put this DNA inside that, and then that is the vaccine. You inject it into a human being. When it gets into the human, the vector, which is the virus that's now containing the DNA that encodes for the protein on the surface of corona, goes into the cell, macrophage for instance. Inside that, it goes to the nucleus, and then it will encode for an mRNA, which in turn is going to encode for the protein on the surface of the cell, which is going to be exactly the same as the one we find on corona. But then it doesn't cause diseases. Now that cell is going to be destroyed very rapidly by the immune system, just like the Moderna vaccine. Now, the Sputnik works that way. The Astra also works that. The only difference is that the Astra one, the AstraZeneca Oxford one, uses simian adenovirus. That's the cause. Causes a cold in chimpanzees, but that's fine. Don't worry about that. Whereas the Russian one, they use adenovirus that causes colds in humans. The same applies to the Johnson & Johnson. Okay. Now you also have the Sinovac. Sinovac is a Chinese vaccine. It is pretty cool too. This one works. This one, the way they make this one, they kill corona. They just completely kill it. It's inactive. It can cause diseases. You inject into people, then the body recognizes a foreign entity, and then it produces the antibodies, and then it produces the lymphocyte are going to be memory. Next time you get corona, it is destroyed. Nice and easy. That's how the vaccination works. Okay. Now a lot of people are suggesting that somehow, Europeans or the Chinese or the Russians want to eliminate the African population by using this vaccine. This is total nonsense. I mean, if they really wanted to destroy us, they would have done a long time ago. How many things in your house right now come from the West? Just how many? The car you drive, some of the drinks you take, some of the clothes even. You can do a lot of things if you wanted to kill people. So this is nothing to do with trying to destroy people. Some also suggest that somehow it's going to control you remotely. There's some nanoproof. That's total nonsense. Not true. Now, there are people that complain that you still have to wear masks when you've been vaccinated. Well, let me explain basically what happens. Imagine that I've been vaccinated with any of those vaccines. It doesn't matter which one, anyone, it doesn't matter, right? From the point when I've been vaccinated, it's going to take some time for me to be able to produce antibodies to destroy COVID. Imagine I'm vaccinated today, and tomorrow I get in contact with CV-19. It's going to be dividing inside my noses, my secretion, and everything like that. So even though I've been vaccinated yesterday, I can still cough it to other people and they can get the vaccine, they can get the virus. So that's why you actually have to wear the mask. It's not because the vaccine is going to cause corona. It's totally not true that any of these vaccines that described cause corona. They don't use live viruses. The other ones don't even use viruses at all. So it is not true. Total lies. You only wear masks to protect other people before you became immune. Even if you are still immune, there's a time like between the response of your immune system to destroy the vaccine. It doesn't happen just like that. So in that time before it's destroyed, you could still infect other people. That's why you need to wear masks. It's very important to do that. Okay. Now let's go to the effectiveness of these vaccines. These are extremely effective. Extremely effective. I mean, the Oxford AstraZeneca one you're talking between 60 to 90% effectiveness. You need 2 vaccines of this thing. Is very cheap. Okay, the Moderna one is very, very effective. I mean, these are really the stars. I mean, 2 vaccines you need RNA based, 95% effectiveness. So if you have 100 people, 95% are going to be protected, 5 will not. Same applies to the biotech one, the Pfizer one. It's just effective. Sputnik, it's about roughly 90%, 92%, 90%. So it's very, very effective. Now, Sanotech, the study they published in the Lancet, it was about 91%. This is extremely high. If you take the one that you normally take for flu, that's about 50%. Cholera, 70%. So these are extremely high. Now, side effects. Well, there are mild side effects, flu-like illnesses, the bit of muscle ache. They last, there are few that are rare, but they can happen in the last a few days. So really, nobody. There are stories that people have died as a consequence of taking this vaccine. Well, in the majority of situations, this does not happen. There's issues from studies from Sweden that some old people who are extremely frail, very old in their 90s, 80s, late 80s, develop some diarrhea-like illnesses and still died. However, when you